I'm running a new wire to the cabin. Ours just stopped working. The wife is with me on this trip, so I'm going to take her windshield extension off this morning too, because I guess she's having a hard time seeing through that crappy windshield my brother had on there. I'm going to pop that off, but I want to get this wire around. I don't know. But about a month ago I nicked it with the chainsaw under here. I put it back together, but I guess with all the melting and half of the skirting is showing now, so it melted quite a bit. And maybe some water got in there and separated the wires that are fixed. I don't know how, but now it just stopped working. As soon as I put the compressor on for a load, I was gonna put together my wood box, my little kindling box that I made, and that was it. It stopped working. So ran the new wire here. I'll just run it right into the house for now, into the cabin. But I do want to run it from underneath the skirting again, dig a little trench, but I'll do that at the beginning of the year when I have a proper wire. So this will be temporary until I run a nice heavy wire. So right now I just want to tack it in here. That'll do. That'll do. Nice and high. Yeah, that's plenty. Yep. Nice and taut now. Well, that's it. I got the tin roof on, and that's all done. I just got to get some pieces for the side, like I have on that roof. Some flashing, corner flashing, end flashing, whatever you want to call it. And I overhung it about an inch. I just cut it all off while it was up there. That'll do. That will do. My wife's inside making a nice pot of chili, and I'll make some bannock to go with it later. Pretty quiet day today. Didn't do too much. So I thought maybe it's time to I take a break. It's like I've been going pretty hard every weekend and during the week. So you know what? Today was a pretty quiet day. I even went down for a power nap for about 2 hours. So I actually felt really good. Something I needed, I guess. Can't always be working, that's for sure. But let's talk a little bit about the siding. I'm going to take you around the back here. Around the back, in the front. And we'll talk a little bit about the siding and what we're thinking about doing. Well, just brought you over here because it's getting out of the wind, and it's a little calmer over here in the back of the cabin. It's actually windier over there. I thought it was going to be calm. Let's talk about the siding. Some people seem to be concerned about it, and you should be. The siding should be done first. It should be house wrapped, and the siding has to be put on first before you go on the inside. Of course, you're supposed to do that. But you know what? I don't have that kind of luxury here in the north. Our train went down. It was super expensive to bring anything in, and the prices are still up high. So I'm just waiting for everything to come down, and we're going to be ordering actually this summer the siding for the building. Finally, prices are okay. People are still fighting with some of the high prices, and you know what? I'll just wait. The OSB on here is as solid as the first day I put on. I took samples. I did samples about 2 years ago. I did, and I said, you know what? We don't want to lose that building, so I better check it over and make sure that it's fine before we come up, because we were going to bring tin with us to do this whole building. But we ended up having too much stuff in our truck, and we thought, you know what, we'll just get it shipped in. But then the train went down and everything shot up big time. So I'm not going to bring it in on the ship. It was way too expensive for a trapper's cabin, and I wasn't going to fly it in. So that's the reason why I didn't do the siding this year, is because I'm just letting everything calm down. And once it's calmed down, then the price should go back to a reasonable price. And then I don't know if I'm going to do vinyl or tin, but it's going to be the cheapest thing I could find, I'll tell you that. But yes, do your building envelope first. If there was a $60,000 kitchen in here and a $30,000 bathroom, well, yeah, I would have did the whole outside first. But you know what? It's just a trapper's cabin. It's all wood. It's never leaked inside this cabin for 20 years, and it ain't gonna make a difference for another year or two for siding, that's for sure. But I thank you for your concern. You know, you definitely should have house wrap on you and that. But you know what? This is just gray. Just because it's faded and gray, like my hair, it doesn't mean it's crappy. So thanks for your concern, guys. But you can see, right, this is where I took a sample right there. I chipped it away because I actually thought I was going to put a door in here, so I said if I chip it, it doesn't matter. But I chipped it away there, and I chipped it away a little bit there and around the front, around all the sides. And plus I took for the fridge, if you remember doing the fridge, I took a big sample out of there. Said, oh, it'll be good, I'll use it for the sample, see how the siding, or see how the OSB is. And it was solid. Solid as the first day I put it on. So don't be too worried about the outside of the building, that's for sure. We've got much to do in here for the next trip. Been a quiet trip this weekend. Wife is reading in the bedroom, and I'm about to watch the Jets game. We were supposed to go for a trip, but it's been too windy. Super windy out there all weekend. We had one nice day when we got here on, well, the following day, Friday, but stuck around camp and did a bunch of work here. Odds and ends again. But I didn't have much to do, but I finished it all today, as you could see, and it's super cozy in here. I don't think I'll be painting the ceiling right away, probably, I don't know, whenever I get around to it, next couple of years or so. I just got to make an attic hatch the next trip, and a hatch to get in underneath the house. So I'll probably do it in the front here. And cut wood. We were supposed to cut wood this weekend, but didn't happen. Got other things to do. So next trip will be all about the wood, I guess. Well, I thought I'd throw some corners on the 3 outside corners I have here, and I made them in town, obviously. Glued them here and Brad nailed them together and threw them on, and wow, actually looked really good. Kind of like that. The corners were pretty ugly, so we'll just have to sand a little bit more. I gotta bring some sandpaper with me and knock that edge off. So turned out real nice. As you can see, I put a border all the way around the roof, or on the ceiling I should say, and hid all that ugliness at the top there. Because cutting that plywood down, probably lost a good ½ inch. And of course the cabin's not perfect, and you know, I was trying to make it level all the way around so all the lines would match up right around the whole thing. So, worked out well. Anyway, that's a great look there. I like it. Pretty quiet trip. So on this trip, I think I'm going to throw in some of the stuff that I've done for you guys. I just didn't make some of the videos. Someone wanted to see the fleshing station, a closer look, and a few other things that I have kicking around. So I think I'll throw that in on this video. So as you can see, I got some angle iron here, and that's bolted into this 2x6, which is screwed into the wall, of course. And then there's a hinge here that runs on the, that's welded on the bottom and comes to the front. And is there's another angle iron welded onto that, and that's what I can move it up and down with, and like I said, it stays out of my way. So the next part is this T-bracket. I had a buddy of mine made this for me, and it runs into this 4-inch black ABS pipe about halfway, so I'll give you a look at that. Okay, with the leg not extended and just folded into the body, You could see the T-bracket here welded, obviously bolted to this hinge. And it runs inside the ABS about halfway. I wanted it halfway because I wanted some strength there. I just don't want to have the ABS by itself. So if you're going to do this, I think I would put it 3/4 of the way now. And I countersunk 2 bolts in. I got my hands in here and managed to get them all on. So my bolts are a little bit long. If they were shorter, I could get my hand in there easier and tighten them. So I just ended up countersinking them. Why? Looks better. So here's the leg. As you can see, I have it inside. It goes into a tube. This one leg, there's a nut welded on here. You can, there's a nut and a bolt here. The nut is welded on here, so I can loosen this up and adjust my leg wherever I want it to. For your height or comfort, if you're in a chair, whatever. And all I have it with some number 10 screws. I just screwed it right into the 4-inch ABS here. And obviously it's 2 L brackets, and I bent them on a vise just to get a little bit of an angle there, and I tightened this up so that I could just move this wherever I wanted. If it's too loose, it might kick out on me. So that works really well. So what I did was I took a hook here, I bent it a bit, put it in the wall, and now I could just turn the hook and have it fall out instead of having a stupid wire wrapped around there. But you just drop it and put it wherever you want for your height. And this one's going to be a little bit different. I have to reset it because I didn't put it in the exact same spot as it was before. But just kick that out wherever you want it. And like I said, my pipe's coming up only to about here. If you're going to do this, I'd put the pipe farther up. And maybe even make that a little wider with 3 bolts, because as you can see, there's a little bit of play in there. And so if you're fleshing, you know, it's rocking a little bit. So I've learned to nice and straight and move the pelt around. And once you get some pressure on there anyway, it's not gonna move, as you can see. And of course your guts against there. And with this one, I think I'm going to square it off a little more, because it kind of hurts my gut a little bit leaning into it. It's a little bit too sharp. So I just cut the ABS on I don't know what it was, 60 degrees. And then I took a file and rounded it all off just for safety. Didn't want those too sharp in there. So that's it. It's a great little setup. Once the cabin is warming up, I thought I'd come out here and share a new accessory with you. Well, before that, a couple people asking what are my accessories. I guess I had when I took it, it was pretty windy out, and the camera had a setting on it that was way up full blast. The mic setting, I didn't realize it was, and that's why it's so sensitive and wasn't working properly. So hopefully it's better now. So anyway, I got my gun boot here, and just pick that up, snag my gun, and get your wolf, fox, whatever you're hunting that day, and push it back in there, or you could just bring it inside. If I feel like maybe cleaning my gun up, just pull it up in and take it with me. Great accessory and a great back saver. Got really sick of carrying my gun over the years, and when I found out I can get this for this machine, oh, I was all over it. Love it. Also, I put on a windshield extension here, just 3 bolts. Nothing fancy. A lot of times the guys will make them actually come down here a little bit bigger, but I don't mind mine just like that. Some guys even go farther down here. They really get themselves right out of the wind. But you know what, I just feel like that's going to snap off in the bush or something, so I don't do it. So another thing is, I put on a 400-watt block heater on the sled. You know, minus 40 and my generator's running, why not? It'll still start, but you know what, less wear and tear on the motor. Way better for it when you plug it in, right? It's a great addition, because When I do start it at minus 40, it kind of chugs a bit for about 5 minutes, and you know, working hard to get going. 40 below, you have it plugged in, bang, it drops down to 1200 to regular idling, and it probably within the first minute it drops to a 1200 because it's already pretty much warm. Fantastic. I'm glad I did that too. And of course you can see the wraparound bumper there. It's supposed to have a receiver on the front here, but I didn't buy the right one, or I didn't know what it was for, I should say. Well, it's for a winch that I'm getting. So my buddy said he'll weld a square tube in there, but I'm also going to get a plate made for the front, like a steel bumper, a square steel bumper, so if I hit a tree, it's not going to go through my front grille and into my radiator, and I'm done. The machine won't go anywhere after that. So I'm gonna always have that front bumper on, like all the time, and I'm only take it off if I'm going to use my winch. So I'll probably put the winch on the side here somewhere, or I'll put it back here on my new bumper bracket. So we'll see how that goes. And this is also, I'm going to pick up the receiver that you bolt in place here, and I think it's right about here, and you pick your tongue up when you want to put your winch in there. Put the pin in place and hook it up to your battery and winch yourself backwards or winch yourself forward, whatever. Take it back off, roll it up, and put it wherever you want it. A lot of the guys have it here, I noticed, or somewhere here. And I think I'm going to try to put it in the back here. We'll see how that works. And of course I got my ski skins also. So there you go, that's all my accessories. I threw an axe on here. That's an axe mate. I don't got it Velcro down or anything. It's not going to go anywhere. So I'd have to hit a pretty freaking something pretty hard for that. If that thing is going flying off, well, I'm going flying off also. So that's why I don't have it Velcro down. There's usually a piece of Velcro here, but like anything else, they just, after a few times taking it off and on, it just eventually breaks. So I just took it all off. But there you go, my new accessory, man. Love it, and I'm so glad this hitch is not against the right on the machine anymore, because it was wearing away my let's call that the snow flap, wearing a hole in there from my hitch pin because they were too long. So by the time I noticed it was too late. It was already damaged, so I just kept using the same pins, but they fall inside there and the R pins would get stuck in there too sometimes, so a real pain in the ass. So I'm so glad it's way over here now and away from the snow flap. That's a pretty crappy design, having that right, that tongue is like literally so close to the flap. It's a bit of a silly design, that's for sure. Anyway, I'm gonna go inside and make some more tea. Actually, I gotta put that big the big pot of water on there, melt some water, because I just used a little pot of water I left here for a cup of tea.